Hi, and I'm back with number 3 in my top 5 ways that I've seen people fail at homesteading and permaculture livelihoods. And number 3 is going to be another shock because, again, it's one of the things that people just really strongly identify with the whole movement. Number 3 on our list is landscaping businesses. So again, a lot of us feel like it's natural. We want to play with plants. We want to get out there and work in gardens. We tend to be good gardeners ourselves, so we want to spread the love around. And by the love, I mean me. Yes, but the problem with it is, like with farming fields, it has the same economic problems. The first is that big opportunity cost. And one of the most important opportunity costs for landscaping businesses is that the busy times of the year are exactly the busy times for doing our permaculture or homesteading stuff and getting our gardening going. As I said before, getting our own gardening going can be really valuable. It can produce really like $50 to $100 or more of value, of real cash value and savings for our families. It's like the actual thing, right? What we really want to be doing is creating this beautiful, healing, natural environment for ourselves and living in that. Instead, when we do a landscaping type business, during the times of year that we're most likely to be out enjoying our own properties, we're off working in other people's, for other people. And because, and like with farming, it also comes with a very high risk and very low reward rate. So again, the wages for these jobs tend to be very low. A lot of times people realistically are making maybe $16 an hour, working long, hard hours during the summer. Then because of that opportunity cost issue again, and the fact that they're not really making significant money for all of the risk and time, the folks who start doing these landscaping businesses to try to support the permaculture dreams end up never being able to invest in their actual permaculture dreams. They end up stuck doing a landscaping business. And as with farming again, because the economics are so hard, a lot of times we end up feeling pressured in this race to the bottom. So we started out wanting to do regenerative work, healing landscapes and regenerating ecosystems. Instead, we end up succumbing to the pressures of plastics and poisons and petroleum. Now, again, the problem is the solution. I'm not saying not to do this stuff because we need people out there doing some of this work. But I wouldn't count on it as your main business or a main way to fund your permaculture and homesteading dreams. And I wouldn't invest in it heavily because the reward for that particular investment is likely to be so low. So, how do we fix that, and what are things we can do instead? Well, one of our growing free authors, Jenny Nazak, offers a bunch of services, and the way she does it, she starts with figuring out the right scale, doing it on a human scale, doing it on a human time effort, right? Doing it without plastics, poisons, and petroleum, and making sure that people know that's what she's doing. It's an inspiring model. You can read about it in Growing Free or at that growingfree.money website. Now, or her website, Deep Green. Now, so another way we could do it is to transform the whole model. In Growing Free and at transformativeadventures.org, you can learn about the way I've made my livelihood, which is what I call a community-supported permaculture business or landscape transformation program. This is kind of like a CSA that helps people install and do their own landscapes. So this really changes the whole paradigm by getting people's hands back into the management of landscapes instead of corporate products. And it helps people reconnect to nature by becoming keystone species in their environment, correcting all of those problems that are from missing species in the ecosystem. My opinion is This is the most regenerative way to transform landscapes, and it's also the most economically rewarding that I've seen. Oh, again, over at growingfree.money, you can see more about the economics of landscaping businesses and why generally they're really hard to make work. Most of them rely on, again, those corporate products, plastics, poisons, and petroleum products, and concrete products, which are the second or third largest driver of climate change. And they're a big pollution problem otherwise. So again, when we can escape those issues, we can find something that's really better and more meaningful. Another benefit of the landscape transformation program is that you spend most of your time during the season at your own place instead of off doing work for other people. Now, doing some design and install work, again, like Jenny Nazak does, and I do myself, is great. But I wouldn't count on it being the main thing that I do because the economics just generally don't work out, and it's really difficult to make it regenerative. So that's number 3. And number 2 is going to be maybe the most shocking one on this list. Remember, this comes from the perspective of a permaculture designer. So check out what number 2 is. Number 2, the second worst possible way that you can make a living to support your permaculture and homestead dreams. And it usually leads to failure. So check it out and let me know what you think if you have any questions.